2 Chronicles chapter 26. Uzziah does right. Meanwhile, all the people of Judah had taken Uzziah at the age of 16 and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He recovered Eilat for Judah and rebuilt it. It was after this that the king, Amaziah, slept with his ancestors. Uzziah was 16 years old when he began his reign, and he ruled for 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Yeholiah from Jerusalem. He did what was right from Adonai's perspective, following the example of everything his father Amaziah had done. He consulted God during the lifetime of Zechariah, who understood visions of God, and as long as he consulted Adonai, God gave him success. The victories of Uzziah. He went out to fight the Pelishtim, breaking down the walls of Gat, Yavne and Ashdod, and he built cities in the area of Ashdod and among the Pelishtim. God helped him against the Pelishtim, against the Arabs living in Gur-Baal, and against the Meunim. The Ammonim brought tribute to Uzziah, and his fame spread abroad as far as the Egyptian frontier, since he kept growing stronger. Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem at the corner gate, at the valley gate and at the angle, and fortified them. He built towers in the desert and dug many cisterns, because he had much livestock, likewise in the Shephelah and the coastal plain. He had farmers and vineyard workers in the hills and in the fertile lands, because he loved the soil. Uzziah had a standing army of fit soldiers divided into units according to the census taken by the secretary Yael and the officer Maaseiah, under the direction of Hananiah, one of the king's officials. The total number of clan heads over these strong, brave men was 2,600. They directed a trained army of 307,500 fighting men, a strong force supporting the king in war against the enemy. Uzziah equipped them, the whole army, with shields, spears, helmets, armor, bows and slingstones. In Jerusalem he built devices designed by experts for the towers and angles, from which to shoot arrows and lob large stones. His fame spread far and wide, for he was miraculously helped until he became strong. Uzziah transgresses with a sinful offering. But when he was strong, he became arrogant, which caused him to become corrupt, so that he sinned against Adonai his God by going into the temple of Adonai to burn incense on the incense altar. Azariah the Kohen went in after him, and with him were 80 of Adonai's Kohanim, brave men. They stood up to Uzziah the king. They told him, "It isn't your job, Uzziah, to burn incense to Adonai. The job of burning incense belongs to the Kohanim, the descendants of Aharon, who have been consecrated. Get out of the sanctuary. You have trespassed, and Adonai, God, will not honor you for this." This made Uzziah angry as he stood there with a censer in his hand ready to burn incense. And in his anger at the Kohanim, Zara broke out on his forehead right in front of the Kohanim in the house of Adonai beside the altar for incense. Azariah the chief Kohen and all the Kohanim stared at him. There he was, with Zara on his forehead. Quickly they threw him out of there. And indeed, he himself hurried to get out, because Adonai had struck him. Uzziah the king had Zara until his dying day. He lived in a separate house because he had Zara, and was not allowed into the house of Adonai. Meanwhile, Yotam the king's son ran the king's household and was regent over the people of the land. The death of Uzziah. Other activities of Uzziah, from beginning to end, were recorded by Yeshayahu the prophet, the son of Amoz. So Uzziah slept with his ancestors, and they buried him with his ancestors in the graveyard belonging to the kings, because they said, "He had Zara." Then Yotam his son took his place as king.